Good evening, cricket fans from across Canada. This is Amit from Game Changers. Interview 2 already in place, and I am extremely excited about this one. And you'll probably understand why when I bring this gentleman onto the screen very shortly. So when you see the things that we're going to talk about, the questions I have lined up for them, you may appreciate who this gentleman is, and all the cricketers around the world will know who this is. So without further ado, let me bring in this gentleman right now. Mr. Pubudu Dassanayake, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Not too bad, thank you. Can I call you coach, please?
Yeah, no problem.
Because I think anyone who calls you coach will feel very, very special indeed, I think.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. How's your day been so far?
Good. Yeah. I'm just came back from USA, so staying home these days.
All right, these days. All right. So, how are you coping with COVID-19 situation?
Nothing much. It's just that after I stepped down from USA, I had a lot of time, and then did few short assignments. But I mean, everybody knows that this year was all cricket was disturbed, and all the tournaments were halfway cancelled, or tournaments didn't happen. It was a tough year for cricket.
Yeah, it's been tough on any level. I think, especially on sports, it's taken a huge toll, right? And I don't know what to make of that, but I hope things calm down, improve for everybody around the world, and everyone's health gets better. Those who have suffered, family members, etc. It's a very sad situation.
Yeah, I think it's a great period anyway. Like, if you're thinking in positive manner, it's a great period for everybody to upgrade yourself, whichever way, whether it's a knowledge or whether your fitness or whatever you do. I mean, we have got a free time, so it's good to be alone and work through your own stuff, so that when things goes back to normal, I mean, you'll be better than before.
Well, you're absolutely right. I mean, I agree completely with you. But if you don't mind, I would like to share, a bit of your background with the viewers, right? That are going to be watching this, and I'm going to bring in your statistics, and I'm just absolutely amazed with them myself. All right, so let me just do that, okay? And there we go, for everyone to see. I mean, wow, simply wow. 11 tests. You've got 16 ODIs, 108 first-class matches under your belt. The list goes on and on and on. I mean, this is absolutely phenomenal stuff. And thank you for doing so much for cricket.
Yeah, it's playing days are always great, and I even didn't know that I played that many games. Yeah, my first class career was around close to about 15 years. So
tremendous career. But well, I've brought you on because I've got some things that I need to ask you, and I'm sure the viewers will appreciate some of the questions that I want to ask you. So shall we begin?
Sure, I'm happy to.
All right, great. So my first question for you, as an international coach with many years of experience and success, what keeps you motivated?
Yeah, I mean, after I came back to Canada, even before that, I've been doing some coaching for the Sri Lankan Cricket Academy, and and some of the top schools in Sri Lanka. And then when I came here, I started playing a bit, and then the coaching international teams have never been in my plans, and it just happened. And even from my playing days, I was always willing to take challenges, and my attitude was always to win tournaments. So I think that really uh, uh, that really helped me in my coaching career, and and I really enjoyed, like, from after I taken Canada in 2007 and up to today, I was able to coach 3 countries, and I have given a very decent pathway for them to move forward. Uh, yeah, I mean, your answer to your question is basically, I really enjoy my coaching part, like, to bring teams from from lower levels into the top level.
And those 3 countries you mentioned that you've coached as an international coach, is that Nepal, USA, and Canada? Is that correct? Are those the 3 countries, the associate countries?
That's right.
Right. Okay. Wonderful. All right. That's tremendous. Again, I mean, wow. All right. So my next question for you, sir. You were the designated head coach of Somerset Cavaliers in the American Minor League recently, and you ended up as champions of the Eastern Conference. I mean, brilliant. I mean, what was that experience like, by the way?
No, it was a kind of a new experience for me. I started a few, franchisee coaching jobs, and so when I was invited by the Somerset Cavaliers, and with this time period, I was a bit nervous, like, to go to US and live there for a month and a half. But somehow I made the decision to go, and I think I made the right decision. I really enjoyed the team management, and it was a top team. I mean, unfortunately, the real tournament didn't happen because because of the COVID situation.
Right.
But they played the zonal, like, within the your area, and yeah, we played really good cricket, and it was a top team, and most importantly, there was a system, like, to pump youngsters into the group. We had a 20 of a squad, and we started with 3 guys and ended up around 6 youngsters coming into the squad. And overall, I think it's a great concept for USA cricket. It's a great platform foundation. I think they are moving in the right direction, and it's a great tournament. I really enjoyed from first day to the last day.
Well, no, I mean, another question just off the top of my head here, like, considering all the COVID-19 cases in the US, I mean, they have one of the largest number of cases in the world right now. But what I'm surprised about is that they're still playing a lot of cricket. I mean, at the same time, the Canadian Cricket Board are not doing anything to improve Canadian cricket. I mean, what do you think the reason is for this? Like, have you been, as you were a previous head coach of the Canadian national team, like, what's going on with Canada? Like, I don't understand, like, the difference between the US and Canada.
Like, if I have to, like, talk about USA cricket, I think they have a very good plan in place, and some good staff in place, and these like, tournaments, like, I don't think they have reduced any tournament, like, like when I watch cricket in New York and New Jersey, every weekend, every ground is packed with teams and playing cricket, and there's a quality tournaments, even though it's a small tournaments. Those are quality tournaments because there are a lot of players coming from Caribbean and South Asia, so it's very high competition. Even though the facilities has to improve for sure. Cricket is playing there. Cricket is happening there. So, and I'm not sure. Like, I'm not in a position to talk about the Canada because I don't know. I know that few tournaments happen. I don't know the rules, like, whether they can have tournaments or not. But I'm sure, like, USA is in full swing.
No, I mean, just to see the things that you were involved with recently, and some of the plans, some of the articles I've been reading, like the major plans of infrastructure and development and the investment. Like, I think it was $1 billion. I think I saw somewhere that was coming in, just for cricket expansion. I mean, that's a lot of money. Like, that's tremendous.
Yeah, I think they USA Cricket got a partner, and then they're putting things together, and not only USA, like there are many other countries. I think the cricket boards have used this time to reorganize things, and especially associate countries, like where they were lacking in their domestic cricket and pathways.
Right.
It's a great time to do planning, and I think USA Cricket is doing it. And to be honest, I haven't heard anything from Cricket Canada. I think they must be doing as well, but I haven't seen anything at the moment, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I'm assuring you is like USA is moving very, very fast.
Very fast indeed. Yeah, absolutely. So let me understand. How long have you been back in Canada then?
I left the USA national job in 2019 July. So since
Okay.
then I'm back here.
Okay. So, I mean, my next question is going to basically be leading on to this. Like, since you've been back in Canada since July 2019, I mean, I've overheard some rumors that Cricket Canada is looking for a new head coach, right? I mean, under you, Canada finished second in the 2009 World Cup qualifier and got the ODI status, and you reached the World Cup in 2011, right? So since Cricket Canada know about your availability, I mean, have they ever approached you or thought about reappointing you as the current head coach? Like, what can you tell the viewers about that?
No, I mean, like I met a few of the board members, but we never discussed anything about any role for me to play with Cricket Canada. So at the moment, I mean, for your question, is basically I haven't heard anything about the coaching role.
Okay, all right, that's interesting. So here's the thing that I've been reading about you on Crick Info, and then another one which I'm going to share very shortly with the viewers. All right, so just before I ask the next question, let's just go to that one. So here we go. The Journey of a Godfather, perhaps one of my favorite articles about you so far, right? So the godfather of associate cricket. So I would encourage everyone to go to Crick Pointer and read this article, because it's a very good one about you, right? So, and going back to that, since you've been recognized as a coaching godfather for the association countries, right? Like, in your opinion, which association country has the potential to get the next ODI status, please?
Like, I mean, when you say ODI status, like, I mean, there are 7 associate countries which already has ODI status. I mean, there are a couple of levels where I mean, if you ask me the next associate country who is closest to become a full member, I would say that's Nepal. Just because of not because of the team, but I think the environment. The whole country is crazy for cricket, and there's so much of talent in that country. Of course, there's so many things that they need to do before reaching up there, but they have the most potential. And I saw USA Cricket has put up a program and a plan in place. Like, they wanted to become a full member country by 2030. So some of these countries are working towards that. So when you come back to Canada, like after 2013, Canada lost the ODI status, and Canada is out of that 7 countries, top associates, 7 countries. So they don't have the ODI status at the moment.
Right.
It's a bit of a long process for Canada to reach up there.
Right.
But again, just like from my knowledge, for Canada to reach up there, Canada has a very decent team, and there's a lot of talent here as well. But they need a system in place surrounding the high performance atmosphere for to get up there. So yeah, I mean, there are a few countries like really pushing, and of course Netherlands already in the top table with the full members, even though they're still associate country. So there are a lot of countries are actually pushing to go in on the high on the table.
Right. No, I can see that happening. I mean, I've seen quite a few countries entering the competition levels now, and they're very strong, right? So I'm sure we would like Canada to actually do something soon about that competition level. Next question. Sorry.
Yeah, just to give, like, when Canada reached in 2009, when we finished second in that World Cup qualifier.
Right.
We lost the finals to Ireland and Afghanistan, and them not nowhere. Like, we beat them in that tournament, and we were the 12th team in the world at that time. So
Wow, in the world.
we
I mean, that's saying something. Right. No. Okay. Fair enough. So my next question is, why do you think cricket is growing in popularity, even in countries where it's not their national sport? Like, why do you think that is? Like, is it because, of Test, ODI, or T20 cricket? Like, why do you think the cricket is not growing in popularity? Like, why? Why is it growing?
I think, like, the way that we have treated this game, like, it's a kind of life. Cricket is kind of a lifestyle. Like, when I'm coming from Sri Lanka. I'm sure all Asia. I'm sure it's UK or Australia or New Zealand. Like, once you're in this game, it's in your blood. You're not going to leave it. And I mean, for some reason, we all have moved from our home countries to Canada, and still we are, we wanted to play this game, grow this game wherever we go, and it's happening in all over. And I mean, in Europe, like, there are countries like Italy, Germany. There's a lot of cricket happening in those countries, and the other countries, like, it's like when you go to Asia. I mean, Afghanistan already got their full member status. Nepal is crazy about it. Even the smaller countries like Singapore, Malaysia, Maldives, like, cricket being played everywhere. And personally, my life experience is like, the cricket is your life. Basically, is that it has learned, it has taught me a lot of life lessons. Leadership qualities. How to take this pressure, how to handle those pressure time, how to work with the team. There are many. I can keep going.
Endless. Exactly. I mean, there's never a stop to it, really.
So that, I mean, I would say still, like, cricket may be one of the fastest growing sport in the world. Actually, it's different from other sports.
But would you say the T20's got something to do with that? The format of T20. I mean, surely that's created a buzz and excitement. I mean, you see so many private tournaments, local tournaments around the world, more and more each year that they're happening. So is it the T20 that's really created this growth, this boom?
I would say yes, because, like, T20, Western world, actually, when the time is important, so playing a shorter version has helped. And I mean, it's an interesting game. And cricket, actually, because of T20, the game also has changed. Coaching, the techniques have changed, skills have changed. So T20 has done a lot for the game. And now I feel that even the T10, people are moving towards T10, making more shorter. But one statement that I have to say about it is, like, all these games are great, but Test cricket is the best.
Test cricket is the best.
You have to play that. You have to know about that game to know how lovely it is, and you learn everything from there. And I still enjoy the longer version.
You know what, that to me is real cricket too, because you know what, even watching it, even though I was very close to some of the players myself in England, but it's an amazing format to actually really test a person's true character for a couple of days, and to really stick in there and to try and fight a real war. Like, it's not even a battle. A Test cricket match is like a war, especially the Ashes, for example, right? Like legendary stuff.
Well, once once you have your, like, you have to be very skillful to play Test cricket, and once you have that skill, you can play any version. I think on the Western world they're going on the reverse. So, but anyway, I mean, T20 also has done a lot to the game.
All right, very, very true. All right, so, but my next question is a little bit heartfelt, because it's about women's cricket. So here's my question: like, can you tell me why women's cricket is not as popular as the men's cricket around the world? Like, I know it's starting to get there, but why isn't it as popular as the men's? Like, do you have any thoughts on that at all?
There are a few reasons. Like, one is that, especially when it goes to the Asian side, like, women's were a bit behind in their lifestyle, in their normal life than men. So cricket was not given the women's cricket were not given enough priority, like, in Asia, but now it has changed a lot. I'm talking about playing days. And also, I mean, being in the ICC setup for a while, like, when I was coaching USA, I overheard a lot of things about, like, when it come to the financial side, like, the men's cricket bring 95% of the income, for whether it's a home board or whether it's ICC, and women's cricket is less. So pumping back to the game, the game is in the same percentage. So the women's cricket were not really funded properly, I would say. And now I think it's changing. I think the whole world has seen the importance of the women's cricket, and there are a lot of good, like, T20 leagues that are coming around the world. I'm sure there'll be many more good leagues will come. Like, I mean, I know that Big Bash may be the best women's league, franchise cricket, and I'm sure there'll be lots of other tournaments will catch up. And when you talk about mainly about the women's cricket, like England, Australia, and New Zealand, and maybe a bit of South Africa has gone a bit far, and maybe India also in the same lot.
Yeah.
But other countries are working very hard, I would say, but haven't put up enough effort to grow women's cricket.
No, that's very true. Some of the things you say, especially in Asia, I would say you're absolutely right about that. Definitely. We're almost at the end of our interview, but I've got a couple of more questions for you. Since you're a Canadian, and you also participated as a national player, right? Seniors and juniors, and and follow the current national team, do you see any potential for them going forward?
You are talking about the Canadian national
Canadian
team?
National team, whether you're looking at the under-19s, for example, and then the senior men's or the women's, like, you're following the national squad, I'm assuming here, and I'm pretty sure you are. But do you see any potential of them going forward? Like, how strong do you think they can go or go far?
I think, like, Canada has some great talent, and even now, like, teams who are in the ODI table, like teams like USA or name Namibia, or like there are many other teams I can name. If Canada play against them, Canada has a very good chance of beating these teams.
Okay.
But Canada hasn't. But Canada is not in that table because of the surrounding of the team, and I think if I had to analyze it properly, I think Canada needs to, or any other associate country needs to think a bit farther than just playing ICC tournaments. I think whenever associate countries have used to get ready for a upcoming ICC tournament, rather than thinking of the development of the game. And once you have a proper structure inside the country, I mean, Sri Lanka is the best example, I would say. Sri Lanka has the best school cricket structure. Every school has a top team. They have their own grounds. They have their turf wickets on that. They have their top coaches. So if you come through a school of Sri Lanka, every youngster, when they're around 10, 12, they're going to try this game. And if you are good, you're going to go into the team and get coaching from there and start playing. So good talent is not going to go anywhere. And also, one of the important things that we all need to know is cricket is a long-term athletic development program. There are lots of other sports where in 3 years you can reach your peak, swimming.
Right.
That means there are lots of sports. You start today, and in 3 years you can be in the Olympics.
Right.
Cricket need about good 10 years. So
good 10 years to develop. Right.
You need a program where, if you are thinking of your younger team, like the national team, the age group around 23, 25, your youngsters should start playing around 13, 15, or even before that, so that they will have enough time to learn, because there's so many skills. There's so many different skills involved in the game. So they need to know, they need to learn that they need to play, and they're the Western countries where we have a hard winter, we only have 6 months of cricket outdoor, and most of us train indoors a long period. So skills are not exposed properly. So the growth is very, very slow. So that's why, it's so important, country like Canada, to have a solid program from junior cricket to the senior cricket, and then from even senior cricket, how we're going to take care of our players, like not depending from ICC, not only waiting for ICC tournaments, how we can develop a system, develop a good structure, so that we can push our team into get full member status. I mean, if you are a associate team, you every year or two, you have to keep playing qualifiers. So if you have a bad tournament in that particular tournament, you're gone back again for another 2 years.
Right.
But full members are not like that. Sri Lanka or India or any other top team have one bad tournament, they've never been a problem, because they are in that. Their full membership is like forever. So if you really want to develop the game, you actually have to look to become a full member country. So that takes time, but everything has to start somewhere. So
no, you're right. I mean, I would agree as well about the development in school programs, and have a good strong foundation to grow the potential and the talent pool. I would agree with you, definitely. Thank you for that. So I'm going to have a few, fun rapid fire questions now, if you don't mind. The speed depends on me as well, asking you those questions. Okay.
All right. Okay.
just a disclaimer there for you. All right.
Sure.
So got a couple of them right now for you. Name me 2 of your favorite Canadian national players, one from the time that you were playing and one from the current national team.
From my playing days, John Davidson is the player that I always admire. He has done a lot for Canadian cricket. And when I'm coaching, and even current, if you ask me current, many of these players I know, but all these players are top players. I mean Nitish Kumar to Ravindra Gunasekar. There's a lot of players who have come through me as well. But I really like to watch Sadbin Safa playing. He's a natural, unorthodox player. I think I will say, he hasn't really given enough opportunity to for him to perform at the national team level. I rate him very high.
No, definitely. You're right, I think, on that level as well. I mean, bowling wise, especially. My next rapid fire question: your favorite movie?
Okay. I watch a lot of movies, and I love movies. But if you ask me one movie that I admire, or number one, maybe it's a Rocky series.
Series. So you like all of them,
yeah, because in my younger days, I watched all these series and many times, and just because that it motivated me so much, and those days when we are training every day, how Rocky trained. So we love to watch every day.
I've tried to definitely get into Rocky mode as well. Believe me, a few times, especially when it comes to cricket. All right. Next one is your favorite food and your favorite restaurant in Canada.
Favorite food. It's a Sri Lankan delicacy. I mean, I think it's in Asia as well. Like it's called milk rice.
Milk rice. Okay.
Yeah, it's a traditional food in Sri Lanka.
All right.
And the restaurant. Yeah, I've been living in I lived in Nepal for 5 years. So my Nepali food is very similar to Sri Lankan food.
Right. Right.
Sometimes I miss that Nepali food. So and there is a place called if I'm not it's called Haka Khazana in Mississauga.
Whereabouts is that? What intersection?
It's in Mavis, I think, close to Derry, I think.
Is it? I'm gonna have to look it up.
Yeah,
I love Hakka food. I like Hakka food too.
Yeah, it's a mix of Hakka and Nepali and Chinese maybe as well. So it's a great place.
Wonderful. And my last and final rapid fire question is this one. If Cricket Canada reappoint you as a national head coach, what would your answer be? Please answer yes or no.
Yes, yeah, I would love to help Canada.
Amazing. Thank you very much, for your time this evening. All right. And I hope I can, meet you in person and we can, develop something together as a unit or we can do something great for Canada. We want to see Canada grow in terms of cricket and for all the Canadian cricket fans as well.
Yeah, thank you for having me. And yeah, it's always enjoying my interviews. Like, I mean, cricket is everything for me. So, coming through events like this to my fans and cricket community, it's always great. So thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you very much this evening.
Good evening.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, fans, sorry, just wanted to let you know that was interview number 2. And I've still got goosebumps basically after that interview. But yeah, look forward to interview number 3. Have a good evening.